Hello, my beautiful radiant souls. Welcome back to a safe space where truth transcends the physical realm and speaks directly to the deepest core of your spiritual essence. Today, the universe has urgently brought you here because there is a profound message trying to reach you. If you felt a magnetic pull to click on this reading, I want you to understand that it was absolutely no accident. The divine timing is perfectly aligned to deliver a revelation that is going to fundamentally shatter your current perspective and shift the way you walk through this beautiful, chaotic world. We need to have a deeply intimate, honest conversation today about a grand illusion you have been living under for far too long. I want to talk to you about the jarring disconnect between what you see when you look in the mirror every single morning and what the rest of the world actually sees when you simply walk by them. We all carry around this relentless, unforgiving inner critic. It is that heavy, nagging voice that stands right over your shoulder when you are getting ready for the day, stepping into the harsh fluorescent lights. It zeroes in on every newly formed line, every faint shadow beneath your tired eyes, every microscopic sign of exhaustion that you try so desperately to conceal. You stare at your own reflection, tracing the contours of your face, and a quiet, heavy sadness washes over you. You think to yourself, where did the time go? I am changing. I am fading. I am simply not the vibrant, youthful person I used to be. You find yourself mindlessly scrolling through social media or walking down a busy street, helplessly comparing your current chapter of life to other women who seem impossibly put together. Endlessly youthful and vibrantly flawless, you carry this invisible, crushing weight, convincing yourself that your prime has quietly slipped through your fingers like fine sand. But my beautiful friend, I am here today, guided by your spirit team, to completely dismantle that toxic illusion. The cards, the stars, the planetary alignments, and the very energetic pulse of life itself are telling a vastly different story that completely defies your self-doubt. In the eyes of this fast-paced world and in the unspoken, private thoughts of everyone who crosses your path, you are nothing short of a walking, breathing phenomenon. I need you to hear this truth and let it anchor deep into your soul. Bypassing all your insecurities, you do not just look good for your age or fine considering the circumstances. You look remarkably better, undeniably younger, and infinitely more magnetic than the vast majority of women around you. And the most beautiful, tragic irony of it all is that your own mind stubbornly refuses to accept this undeniable vibrational fact. Let us gently pull back the heavy velvet curtain and examine what people are genuinely reading when they cast their gaze upon you. Have you ever been out in public, maybe just running mundane errands in your comfortable clothes, and noticed how people unconsciously turn their heads in the street as you pass by? Have you ever felt that subtle, almost electric shift in the atmosphere, noticing how the room seems to quiet down for just a fraction of a second when you walk through the door? You are incredibly humble, so you immediately brush it off. You chalk it up to pure coincidence. You think it must be the bright color of your coat, or maybe you just did a really good job with your makeup routine today. But I am telling you with absolute spiritual certainty, that is absolutely not the case. There is a luminous, blinding light within you that has absolutely nothing to do with expensive cosmetic procedures, trendy clothing brands, or how many grueling hours you spent in front of a vanity trying to perfect a look. It is the breathtaking radiance of a profoundly mature, deeply weathered, yet incredibly vibrant soul. People are not staring at your clothes. They are utterly captivated by your frequency. Your skin, your aura, your entire physical vessel seems to be illuminated from the inside out by a raw, authentic energy that simply cannot be manufactured, faked, or bought in a store. When strangers look at you, they see that exact elusive mystery that ancient poets spent their entire lives trying to capture in romantic verse. They genuinely believe that you possess some hidden, sacred secret to eternal youth that the rest of the world has somehow tragically missed out on. It is a quiet, effortless magnetism that surrounds you like a protective halo, while so many other women are out there desperately exhausting their energetic reserves, fighting time tooth and nail, painfully trying to paint youth onto their faces with harsh chemicals and artificial societal standards. You are doing something entirely different. You simply carry your authentic energy, and it works for you in ways you cannot even begin to fathom. Why do you struggle so deeply to see this magnificent truth? Why do you recoil from compliments or brush them off as mere politeness? It is simply because you have become far too accustomed to your own constant presence. You are living intensely inside your own process. You are acutely aware of your daily routines, your private tears, your mounting worries, and your quiet anxieties that keep you awake at 2 in the morning. You see the chaotic, unedited, behind the scenes footage of your life. But for everyone else, to the outside observer, you are a complete, breathtaking, finished masterpiece. You are a living, breathing work of art that is constantly and miraculously renewing itself with every passing season. You are hopelessly trapped in the illusion of your own messy humanity, while they are standing back, completely awestruck, witnessing the pure magic of your divinity. Let us talk about the specific physical traits you criticize most harshly. When you throw your head back and laugh out loud, you might obsess over the fine lines that gather around the corners of your eyes. You stare at them in the mirror and cruelly label them as dreaded, age-related flaws. But let me tell you what the world actually sees. When you smile, those delicate lines transform into literal, radiant rays of captured sunshine. Others perceive those lines as undeniable, beautiful evidence of a life richly and fully lived. They see a woman who knows deep, belly-aching joy, a woman who has smiled fiercely through the darkest of storms, and they find it unbelievably charming and overwhelmingly attractive. You must understand right here and right now that true magnetic youth is not the hollow, empty absence of years. True youth is the undeniable presence of an internal fire. And my dear friend, your spiritual fire is burning brighter, hotter, and more brilliantly right now than it ever has in your entire existence. The people who orbit your daily life, your friends, your acquaintances, and even the strangers you pass, often catch themselves wondering in private, how on earth does she do it? Women in your immediate circle, your lifelong peers, and especially women who are chronologically much younger than you, observe you with this quiet, profound admiration. Sometimes it even borders on a gentle, harmless, white envy. They look at you and they recognize a distinct lightness of spirit, a graceful authenticity that they themselves lost a long time ago while they were frantically chasing society's impossible plastic standards of beauty. There's an unspoken poetry in the very way you move, your gestures, your deliberate and grounded walk. The simple, absent-minded way you reach up to straighten a stray lock of hair there is so much innate, effortless grace woven into your everyday motions that it actually leaves people slightly disoriented. You appear entirely timeless to them. It is as if you have gracefully stepped out of an entirely different dimension, a higher frequency where age is nothing more than an irrelevant, powerless number that holds absolutely zero authority over true, soul-deep beauty. You sit there in quiet moments and convince yourself that other women look fresher simply because they have had easier lives, fewer heartbreaks, or less stress. But you are completely missing the alchemy of your own miraculous existence. The true, undeniable magic is that your heavy worries, your darkest nights of the soul, your crushing experiences, and even your most devastating sorrows have not broken you. Instead of breaking you, they have expertly cut you, chiseled you, and polished you like a rare, flawless diamond. You have not aged. You have become gloriously multifaceted. Your gaze has acquired an oceanic depth that cannot ever be faked or replicated by those who have not walked through the fire. And within that profound, knowing depth lies an intoxicating, irresistible level of attraction. When men pass you on the street, they are not merely registering your physical outer shell. They are sensing your energetic trail. It is the lingering, haunting scent of a woman who is absolutely brimming with substance, history, and profound meaning. That, right there, is the very definition of true, everlasting youth. It is the fierce ability to still marvel at the beauty of the world. It is the radical, daily choice to remain endlessly curious, passionately open, and unconditionally kind, no matter what traumas you have endured in your past. Now, I want us to take a sacred moment and talk intimately about your physical body. I know how harshly you judge it. I know the quiet, sharp cruelties you whisper to yourself when you stand in front of the tall mirror, picking apart what you perceive as glaring flaws, hyper-fixating on how gravity, stress, and time have shifted your form. But I need you to understand that the universe does not see flaws. The universe looks at your physical vessel and sees a magnificent, sacred temple. You carry a certain royal grace, a breathtaking stateliness that does not diminish but actually grows exponentially stronger and more potent with the passing of time. You look remarkably more elegant, refined, and beautifully groomed than people who are 10, 15, or even 20 years your junior. And the grand secret behind this is your profound self-awareness. You have finally learned how to truly inhabit your own skin. You know how to carry yourself with profound dignity. You no longer fuss nervously in the corner, desperate for validation. You simply exist in your quiet power. And let me tell you a cosmic secret. This quiet, unshakable confidence is the most potent, powerful, rejuvenating elixir in the entire universe. It physically softens your features and brightens your aura. Look down at your hands right now. Really look at them. I know you might see lines or veins, but think of the miraculous history they hold within their grip. They have done so much unimaginable good in this world. They have warmly embraced the broken, fiercely supported the weak, and beautifully created a life from absolute scratch. In the spiritual eyes of the world, those hands are the ultimate symbol of fierce strength, elegantly wrapped in divine tenderness. I want you to look deep into your own eyes the next time you pass a mirror. But this time, I want you to completely banish the harsh, unforgiving critic and look at yourself through the eyes of a passionate, devoted lover. Do you see that undeniable sparkle dancing in your pupils? That is not just a trick of the light. That is the literal spark of divinity. It is the eternal flame of your soul, and I promise you, it never, ever fades with age. It only shifts its hue, maturing into something infinitely more noble, rich, and compelling. You mistakenly believe that as time passes, you are losing ground in the game of life or desirability. But in spiritual reality, you are simply graduating. You are moving out of the shallow waters and stepping confidently into the big leagues of existence. You are entering an era where your beauty is no longer childishly measured by the artificial smoothness of your forehead, but by the gravitational pull and overwhelming magnetism of your vibrant personality. Many women your age try to disguise themselves, turning into carbon copies, masking their uniqueness behind filters and fillers. You, however, have bravely chosen to remain fiercely true to your core essence. And it is precisely this raw, unfiltered authenticity that makes you look decades younger. You are no longer afraid to simply be yourself. Your style, your ability to beautifully curate your life, your soothing voice, all of this creates the image of a woman who is completely in harmony with the cosmos. This harmony is perceived by others as the absolute ideal form of beauty. Right now, someone out there is looking up to you. Someone in a cafe or at work is thinking, I desperately want to look exactly like her when I am her age. She is so gorgeously full of life. To them, you are the missing inspiration. Your presence gives them hope that time is not a cruel enemy but a wise ally. Stop comparing your ocean of life to the dead, breathless, airbrushed images on social media. Your skin holds the memory of the sun. Your hair absorbs the energy of the wind. You are fiercely alive and real, which makes you infinitely beautiful. When you stop fighting time and begin to dance with it, a biological and spiritual miracle happens. Joy and self-acceptance change your hormonal balance, and you quite literally blossom. Smile at yourself genuinely right now. Feel your facial muscles relax. There she is, the radiant, ageless woman the rest of the world sees. Your energy is completely peaking, merging the outer and inner into a single triumphant flow. Leave your fear of old age in the dirt because it does not exist for a soul that knows how to love this life. You are the embodiment of the divine feminine in its purest manifestation. Tomorrow, wear this profound knowledge like a precious jewel. People see a goddess when they look at you. Trust the process, trust your journey, and let every single step you take from this moment forward be absolutely filled with this radiant, magnetic confidence. The universe is giving you a standing ovation. Accept it with grace, because you are a living legend being written right now.